Ever catch yourself wondering, like, what does an occupational therapist actually do all day?
Yeah, it's a field that doesn't always get the spotlight.
Totally. So we're doing a deep dive today, checking out these resources from RoleCatcher. They seem to have a handle on this whole world of OT.
They really do. I think you'll be surprised by how crucial OTs are, helping people live their lives to the fullest. It's pretty remarkable when you think about it.
For sure. And they've got this career guide, super detailed. But, okay, first things first. The name itself. Is it literally about helping people find a job? Like an occupation?
That's what most people think, but no, it's actually way broader than that. Think about it. Like, what are the everyday things you love doing?
Okay.
Getting dressed, making dinner, playing music, even just hanging out with family or friends, those are all occupations to an OT.
Huh. So it's more about all those things that make your life, well, your life.
Exactly. And when illness, injury, disability, anything like that gets in the way of those activities, that's where OT comes in. It's about giving people that independence back, letting them enjoy what matters most to them.
That's powerful stuff. And the guide mentions they work with all kinds of people, right? Not just those with physical
Oh,
limitations.
absolutely. Kids with developmental delays, stroke recovery, brain injuries, mental health. It's a huge range.
Wow. Okay, so we've got this broad idea of what OT is, but RoleCatcher doesn't just stop at the surface level, do they? They get into the specifics of what OTs actually do.
You got it. And one thing they highlight is the link between physical stuff and, well, cognitive skills.
Like, how's that work?
Okay, so picture someone recovering from a stroke. They want to cook again, right?
Right.
And OT wouldn't just focus on their arm strength. They'd work on memory, how to follow steps, problem solving, all that's needed for a recipe.
So it's about the whole person. Makes sense. Now, I'm curious about the type of person who's drawn to this field. RoleCatcher gets real about the pros and cons, and it's not easy work.
Definitely not. Emotionally and physically demanding, they don't sugarcoat it. But then the job satisfaction, the impact you have, that's what seems to fuel OTs.
Right, makes sense. But what really jumped out at me was the skills they list. Empathy, listening, sure, but also critical thinking, even sociology, anthropology.
It shows how adaptable OTs need to be. They're not just applying a technique, it's more like constantly evaluating, adjusting to each person. It's pretty insightful work.
So you've got me thinking, like, how do you actually become an OT? RoleCatcher seems to have that covered too, huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely. They break it down really well. Starts with education, of course.
Okay, so hit the books first. What are we talking about, degree-wise?
A degree specifically in occupational therapy, that's the most direct path. But RoleCatcher also mentions, kinesiology, psychology, even rehab science. Good foundations.
Gotcha, gotcha.
And they stress hands-on experience, which makes sense.
Totally. Can't learn everything from a textbook, right?
Exactly. They're all about internships, clinical rotations, volunteering, bridging that gap. They even give you examples of questions you might get asked in an interview for an OT job. Like, tell me about a time you had to change a treatment plan for a difficult patient. Helps you connect the dots.
Smart.
Huh.
And speaking of job hunting, let's talk about what RoleCatcher offers there.
Mm.
Their AI tools really impress me.
Ah.
That interview prep stuff
Mhm.
almost seemed too good to be true.
Yeah, no, right? That was my first thought, too. But it's actually really cool. Say you're prepping for an OT interview at a pediatric clinic, right?
Okay.
You can use their AI to record yourself answering questions, but they're tailored to that setting. Like, how would you explain OT to a parent who's unsure about it?
Wait, back up a sec. This AI actually analyzes how you're doing.
It's wild. Content, clarity, your tone of voice, even body language. Are you
Mhm.
confident, making eye contact, fidgeting? It's like having a coach right there giving you personalized tips.
That's next level. But even before that, just finding the right jobs to apply for can be a pain. Their board view thing stood out to me. What is that exactly?
Oh, it's great. Picture a bulletin board, digital, where you put all the jobs you're interested in.
Okay.
That's board view. You pull in postings from Indeed, LinkedIn, wherever, and they're all in your RoleCatcher account.
So no more like a million tabs open trying to keep track.
Exactly. And you can organize them by location, salary, even how well your skills match the job.
Hold on, how does it know that? Is RoleCatcher telling me if I'm a good fit before I even apply?
In a way, yeah, they have this match score. It looks at the job description, sees what skills they need, then compares that to your CV. Higher score, better the match.
That's like cheating, but in a good way.
Right. And if your score is low, they give you suggestions. Highlight certain experiences, add keywords.
So it's not just finding jobs, it's about upping your whole game. It's like RoleCatcher saying, hey, job hunting's a beast, but we got you.
Totally. And they really nail the whole personalization thing. There's no one-size-fits-all for careers, and they get that.
Right. It's not just generic advice blasting everyone. So how do they tailor it then?
So say you want to be an OT, but you're like, pediatrics, geriatrics, what even IS all this?
Easy. Easy. Too many big words.
Right. RoleCatcher lets you look at all those different areas, see what's what, career paths, salary stuff, even stories from OTs in those specialties.
Like having a guide, but just for you.
Exactly. And remember how they're always updating with industry trends?
Yeah, staying current. That was impressive.
So, boom, new tech comes out, changes hand therapy for musicians, let's say. RoleCatcher tells you about it and might even connect you to courses for it.
No way. That's wild. It's like having someone in the know always looking out for you.
That's it, exactly. Honestly, anyone even thinking about OT or just curious, RoleCatcher's worth a look.
Couldn't agree more. This deep dive's been eye-opening, for sure.
Definitely. Hopefully our listeners have a better grasp on this whole OT world now. It's important stuff.
For sure. So as we wrap up here, thinking about occupational therapy, one last thought. All those things you do in a day that make you happy give you purpose. An OT's job is to help people get that back no matter what. That's pretty amazing when you really think about it.
Absolutely. It really is.